God has plans to prosper you, give you hope and a future too. So let me remind you of what you have the power to do. You can win, live your dreams, reach your goals, be happy, you can make it. Get motivated with Cassandra Mack. We've got wellness, church by phone. You don't even have to leave your home to be inspired, to rise a little higher with Cassandra Mack. You got haters, they gon' hate. Keep your head up and just be great. You can make it. Get motivated with Cassandra Mack. Let's get motivated with Cassandra Mack. Some people will accept your help while resenting your help because it is you who are in a position to help. So some of you are racking your brain because you have helped somebody, friend, family, co-worker, whomever, in-law, and you thought they would be grateful, and maybe even you thought that it would bring you closer, and you help from the bottom of your heart. You are a kind-hearted person, a caring person, but you're being met with resentment. And you don't throw it in their face, so let's take some things off the table. So we're not talking about the person that helps you with strings attached, and every 5 seconds they want to tell everybody what they did for you. So we're taking that off the table, and we're not talking about that type of individual. So let's say you are not that type of person who throws it in somebody's face when you help them. When you help them, you might not even tell anybody you helped this individual. And it was from the bottom of your heart. And you are hearing, that they are trash talking you. They're acting funny towards you. They're being mean towards you. When you are like, what gives? This is nuts. Like how you resent the person who helped you when you were in a pinch. Maybe you helped them in terms of time. You did a favor for them. Maybe you helped them paint their house, put together a set of bunk beds. Maybe you helped them with some money. You either loaned them money, or maybe you said, you know what, don't even pay me back. I'm just going to bless you. Maybe you watched their kids while they went on vacation and treated their kids like your own. And so you did, these things from the goodness of your heart, but yet they resent you. And I want to talk a little bit about why this happens so that you are not shocked, because so often we are shocked by human behavior. And what I love about the scriptures is that there is no stone left unturned. The scriptures deal with everything pertinent to living this life. And what happens is sometimes you have an individual who has a competitive mindset, and competitive in a negative way. Or they're a little envious of you, or they have to be the shiniest object in the room. And when people come from that place, you may not know that because you've never been in a situation where that aspect of their personality has come to the surface. So you may not know that, right? We know people by their fruit, right? The Bible is clear about that. But fruit starts out as a seed. And so seeds are really small. And if you have never been in a situation where you trigger that person's envy, their competitive streak, where it's an unhealthy, negative, catty competition, you may have been unaware. Or sometimes there are yellow flags, and you hear me say this all the time, that yellow flags come before red flags. Watch my video, Know Your Colors. And what happens is we dismiss the yellow flags because they're really small things. So we dismiss them saying, yeah, that's not that big of a deal. I'm not going to make a big deal over every little thing. And when we get yellow flag signs, it's not for us to make a big deal, but it is for us to increase our awareness and just be more mindful, and just ask the question in your mind, ask the question to God, is this something I just need to be paying attention to? And it'll come back to your remembrance as you begin to notice patterns. And so I want to give you a scripture, and this is going to be a hard pill to swallow, because you probably don't think of people who you hang out with, people who are in your circle, as having enemy-frenemy tendencies, but it's possible. So this is not for us to be paranoid. This is just for us to move with wisdom and to be able to navigate human dynamics, right? With wisdom, with smarts, with resilience, with grace. So Romans chapter 12, verse 20 says this, and I'm going to read it from the English Standard Version. So it says, if your enemy is hungry, feed him. If he is thirsty, give him something to drink. For by doing so, you will heap burning coals on his head. Now, when you think about an enemy, it probably doesn't come to mind that it could be somebody who you associate with all the time, right? But technically an enemy, and the Bible has a lot to say about enemies, right? Sometimes we don't like to use the word enemy, but the Bible talks about enemies quite frequently. And so an enemy is somebody who is hostile to your purpose, someone who is in direct opposition to what it is that you were trying to build, the direction that you were trying to take your life in. So if you were trying to take your life in the direction of growing in the things of God, growing in the fruit of the Spirit, you were trying to take your life in the direction of being a more positive, productive, fruitful person. You are trying to take your life in the direction of your goals and your dreams, adding more joy to your life, adding more peace to your life. And you have someone that's bringing craziness, drama, discord, backbiting, gossip, one up. Their behavior is showing you that they are opposed, right? They are opposed to where it is that you are trying to take your life, that they are in direct opposition. They're actually hostile to where you are trying to take your life, even if it is under the radar, meaning they're passive aggressive about it rather than being overt and upfront. So a lot of times we tend not to want to think that we can have family members, people who we consider friends, people who we see every day at work, who have enemy tendencies. And when you think about the story of Joseph, and if you come to our church by phone services the past 3 weeks, we've been on the topic. We're doing a series called Anointed from the Pit, Unlocking the Spirit of Joseph in You. And in the story, right, he is given this coat, Joseph, of many colors from his father because he has his father's favor. And so his brothers are jealous of this. They're envious of this. And then what takes the envy to the next level is that Joseph has this dream. And he shares this dream with his family, and his brothers are jealous, resentful of this dream that he has. Like, how dare you see yourself as more than we see you, right? Now, this is his own family. And his own family, right, their feelings, their envy drove them to throw him in a pit. So these things are very possible. And I'm not saying that your family is going to throw you in a pit. But sometimes family members do throw us in a pit. Not a literal pit in the ground, but figurative pits. Pits of rejection, pits of isolation, pits of constantly talking to you like you are not a human being. And so sometimes the pits are mental and emotional, right? So this is very possible, so that you are not dumbfounded. So look at what the scripture is saying. So the scripture is telling us how to deal with an enemy. If your enemy is hungry, feed him. If he's thirsty, give him something to drink. For in doing so, it will be like reaping hot coal, pouring hot coals, burning hot coals on his head, right? So think about this. Now, if you have somebody that you help from the goodness of your heart with no strings attached, you're not holding the help over their head, you're not telling them every 5 minutes what you did for them, you're not bragging to others about what you did for them, you sincerely and genuinely help them from the goodness of your heart a few times, and you are constantly met with resentment and you are met with envy, there is a degree of hostility underlying that relationship. And so how do you define an enemy? Well, I don't even want to say this. How do you define or begin to discern an enemy in your camp? Because when you're good to them, when you feed them, whether you're feeding them food or you're feeding another need, but when you were good to them, rather than them having more love for you, wanting to be more reciprocal and supportive, they take it like hot coals on their head. Think about that. Think about when you don't really like somebody, but you tolerating them and they do something nice for you, and you're forced to have to play nice, right? You got to play nice in the sandbox, but it doesn't mean it's genuine and sincere. Think about when somebody has a need of you because you do something really well, right? You have a good skill at the job. You do this thing really well. This is a coworker who's in competition with you, but they need you for this particular thing. Now, they don't really like you. You know they don't like you, but they have a need of you. Chances are they're going to be pleasant because they need something from you. And when you do that thing that is from the goodness of your heart and you're demonstrating kindness, it's like burning hot coals on their head because they want to be able to tell people that you're a piece of crap. They want to be able to tell people that you're fake. They want to be able to tell people all these negative things about you, but you're giving them no ammunition. And so that's like burning hot coals on their head because it's like anybody but you. Like, I need this $20. Dag, I wish I didn't have to come to you for it. That's the fact that I'm irritated that I got to come to you for this $20. You done disturbed the demons. Not my demons. I'm talking figuratively. You done disturbed that person's demons. They mad. And you're like, how you mad? And you coming to me for $20 and I'm giving it to you. And you got to ever help somebody and they got an attitude over the help? That's something that's insane. But when we begin to look at things in the spirit as opposed to the natural, we can begin to understand, because the way that burning coals are to be understood, right, is burning coals are symbolic of conviction. Remember, the coals are being burned on their head, so it's a mental conviction. Like they know they got wrong thoughts about you, but they want a reason to hate you because they're envious of you, whether it's your dreams, your goals, whatever the reason is. And so they want a reason to be able to rationalize and justify talking about you behind your back, being fake towards you, throwing little digs at you. They want a reason to justify that. But once you come at them with kindness, it takes all the power away and there's no ammunition. And that makes them angrier. It's like burning hot coals. See, when it's somebody that loves you, when it's a friend, the reaction is not going to be burning hot coals. They're going to receive it with love. They're going to receive it with gratitude. They're going to receive it with grace. They're going to receive it with reciprocity. But when a person don't really flow with you like that, but they're putting on a front, they're in secret competition with you, it's like burning hot coals on their head. This is how you could really begin to identify the fake people, the snakes in your camp, right? Because you got some enemies that will let you know, and I respect a upfront enemy. I respect a upfront enemy. You be like, Cassandra, I can't stand you. I'd be like, you know what? I love you. I love you for saying that. I love you. I really have a lot of respect for you. I could respect that. We ain't going to be friends. We ain't going to break bread together. We know where we stand. You ain't a snake. I got to respect that. See, when you're that up front, that's a boundary. You did the boundary setting for me. Thank you. See, a lot of times we got it twisted. We mad when a person tells us up front what they don't like, as opposed to that snake that make you believe everything's gravy when they plot and scheming. Thank you for telling me you don't like me. I'm so glad to know where you stand. That's a blessing. That's one less low-key frenemy hater I got to worry about, because it's out in the open. Beautiful. See, that's a bear. That ain't a snake. A snake will bite you right on the ankle, and you got venom flowing through your veins, and you don't even realize you've been bitten. But a bear, you can hear the bear when it growls from a mile away, and you got time to get out of Dodge, because it is what it is. And so when you help somebody who resents your help, that's specifically what I'm talking about here. They resent your help. Resent your help. You got to ask yourself, what's the context of this relationship? The real. Not the front that we put on. Not the fakery. Not what's said in front of family because we playing nice because we at the family gathering. What's it really though? And so this will begin when you do something kind for an individual who resents your kindness. You'll begin to get clues about where that relationship really stands, because hot coals is conviction. Hot coals is a melting. It is a melting. And so that person wants to have a hard, wicked heart towards you, but it's a melting because God is convicting them like, you gotta do better by this person. You can't be stabbing this person in the back on a Friday and then Sunday you asking them to pray for you. You can't talk about them like a dog and say how much you can't stand them and they think they're cute and they think they all out on a Thursday, and then Saturday you asking them to feed your kids and lend you $20. Which one is it? See, it's like burning hot coals. Because you are not like them. You are not like them. It indicates even more and more and more, but they want to justify. See, when a person is envious or they have resentment towards you, might not be envy, it could be resentment, whatever the negative toxic feeling is that they can't let go of. They want to justify being able to hate you. They want to justify being able to talk about you, even if it's done on the low. Smiling in your face, but they really don't clap for you like that. And sometimes it be your own family. It be your own family. And you're like, how many times can you forget to invite me somewhere? At some point, you don't want me there. Like, that's what it is. And so I share these things with you because I don't want us to be blindsided. People of God, we have got to be as wise as serpents and as harmless as a dove. So we ain't here to harm nobody, but we certainly, I'm going to speak for myself, I certainly ain't going to let nobody harm me. Not willingly. And so be as wise as a serpent. You got to move with serpentine wisdom. That's wisdom on a whole nother spiritual level. That's spiritual warfare wisdom. What? And so when you are wise enough to say, I know this person really don't rock with me like that, but I may even operate at a level of wisdom where I recognize that this is warfare. And so because I've discerned that, I'm not even going to show them my hand that I seen their cards. I seen their whole card, but I'm not going to let them know. I'm not going to let them know. And so do understand that there'll be people that you will help and they will resent your help. They need your prayers. They need your grace. They need your prayers. Don't be nobody's fool. You ain't got to be in close contact, breaking bread, knowing somebody's hating on you. You ain't got to be going here and going there, calling them on the phone all the time. You don't have to do that. That is not required of you. You could pray from your house, whatever town you live in, while they in their house, whatever town they live in. You don't got to be in the same vicinity to forgive and give grace. You do not have to be in the same vicinity to forgive and give grace. Because while forgiveness is given freely, trust, baby, trust is earned. And it is earned by testing the spirits. And so there are some people who you forgive, but you don't trust them with your business. You like, they talk about me and I know they have spoken about me. But you know what? I'm going to forgive this, but I ain't no fool. I forgive them, so I'm not going to harbor hate in my heart. I don't hate you. But I surely ain't going to hang with you no more. Because you got diarrhea of the mouth and the truth ain't in you. See, I can't hang with you because you's a snake. And I don't hang with snakes. I ain't going to be nasty. But I ain't going to have you in my business. I ain't going to have you in my home. I ain't going to pick up the phone. Let's be clear. And we ain't got to do that like we in middle school. We grown now. We can do things on a mature level. So do understand that as you mature in the things of God, you're going to move different. You're going to move with a level of confidence that people will be shocked. Like, how did you not snatch her wig off and knock her into next week after knowing what she did? See, the old you might have got down like that. But the new you that is in your Christ mind, which is your right mind, which is your righteous mind, knows, you know what? Where God is taking me, I ain't got time for that. Like, I got too much to do, too much to achieve, too much to see in the world, too many people to help through my gifts, my talents, too much to do for the kingdom. I can't get caught up in this mess. I got stuff to do, people to see, places to go. So be clear. And when people resent your help, You ain't got to be nobody's fool, right? You ain't got to be nobody's fool and keep giving them stuff. You are allowed to say no. Bible is clear. Let your yes be yes and your no be no. You are allowed to cut off the faucet. You are allowed to say no, and you ain't got to explain why you're saying no. You don't have to explain that. You've grown. You are allowed to say, you know what? I'm not going to continue to plant my seeds in soil where there is no harvest. You are allowed to make those decisions. But at the same token, take note of when you feed people, and I don't mean food, when you do right by people, when you meet them at their level of need, and their reaction to it is that they feel like you are pouring hot coals on their head. Why would they feel like why would they feel like you are pouring hot coals on their head unless it's being identified that you're dealing with an enemy? Because see, a friend don't feel that way. The scripture says, but if your enemy is hungry. See, sometimes we got enemies, but we don't know that's the enemy. We don't know we got enemies in our own family. We don't know we got enemies in our friendship group. We don't want to believe it. The heart wants what the heart wants. We don't want to believe the worst about people we grew up with. We don't want to believe the worst about people we went to high school and college with. We don't want to believe the worst about our family members. We don't want to believe the worst about the person we dating. We don't want to believe the worst. But sometimes it is what it is. It's not to be paranoid. It is to be vigilant, discerning, and wise. And so be mindful of people who resent your help. When God leads you to help them, and you're helping them from the goodness of your heart, once again, not from a place of being braggadocious, not from a place of having strings attached, not from a place of holding it over their head, not from a place of reminding people what you did for them, because nobody likes that. But really from a place of you just gave with no strings attached, because that's what God led you to do in that moment. And that's the reason you're blessed. See, the reason you're blessed, it ain't got nothing to do with them. The reason you're blessed in whatever area that you are experiencing multiple blessings, could be financial, could be in your health, could be in your marriage, could be with your kids. Your kids don't give you no problems. That's a what in today's age? That's a blessing. Could be on your job. It's going to look different for each person. It could be your ability to hold your peace even when you're going through it. That's a blessing. Some people can't manage their emotions. You've been blessed if you can do that. And so the reason why you are enjoying the favor of God, the protection of God, and the blessings of God is because you don't get down like them. So be mindful when people who God leads you to help resent your help, and they take it like you putting coals on their head. They take it that way. That's not what you're doing, but that's how they receive it. When a person receives help that's genuine, with no strings attached, not braggadocious, not telling them what you did for them every 5 seconds, holding it over their head, genuine. And they take it as you putting coals on their head. That's the reaction. They basically letting you know they got some enemy feelings towards you. You just got to be mindful of that. So I hope you found this helpful. For those of you who struggle with this, wondering, why does this happen? I'm a kind person. Why does this happen? Well, you got your answer. So I hope this is helpful. A couple of things I want to tell you. Have you gotten my new song, Grateful, Thankful, and Blessed? I'm really excited about this because it is an inspirational song that really puts us in a heart space and a head space to count our blessings instead of counting our problems. And especially as the holidays come, this is a good song to start your day, to get you in a frame of mind of really knowing that every day of life, every day above ground is a blessing. And so many people that play the song, if you have the song, let me know in the comment section. So many people that play the song, let me know that it lifts their spirits. And it's only $1. And it's available. I'm going to leave the link at Bandcamp. And then as of October 27th, it will be available on all streaming platforms and all digital music stores like Spotify, Apple Music, and that'll be on the 27th. It'll be released to all of those stores. So I would definitely encourage you to get it, play it for the whole family, start your day on a positive note. It is a wonderful way to start your day positive. It is a wonderful way to worship the Lord. The Bible says give thanks in all circumstance, right? That's a form of worship. So it's an inspirational song, it's a worship song, and it's a reminder to be thankful for, everything in our lives. So with that being said, have an amazing week. And if you are not yet a member of the YouTube channel, I would encourage you to also be a member, because you're missing out on a couple of things. We have the Wednesday Wellness Club. That happens twice a month on Wednesdays, and we meet by telephone conference call. And it is basically, it's therapeutic, but it is basically mental well-being through a biblical lens. And so that's what we focus on, and it's a whole lot cheaper than therapy. So I would encourage you to become a member. Make the investment in your own self-care and success. In addition to the Wednesday Wellness, what comes with membership at the second level or higher, you get access to our book club. So our book clubs happen by way of Zoom. They're usually held every other month, and they happen by way of Zoom. So we all get to see each other, and we get to interact on Zoom. So you have access to a couple of different things that you can read about when you click on the link. So I'll leave the link for membership in the video description box, and I'll leave the link to get the song Grateful, Thankful, and Blessed for those who would like to support our ministry in that way as well. So God bless you. And this coming Sunday, we're going to be continuing our teaching, our series on Anointed from the Pit. Will be on part 4. If you missed part 1 through 3, they are available, the replays, by becoming a member of the Cassandra Mack YouTube channel at the second tier or higher. You can get access to those. So have a great week.